Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Joe and I work at Prairie Trails Public Library. Since we are still closed, we thought that would be a great opportunity to do a little bit of story time online for those of you who are missing some story time. Also, this is a week to celebrate. It is National Library Week from the 19th through the 25th. So what better way to celebrate National Library Week than with a story time? So today we're going to be reading Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, as well as a couple poems from Shel Silverstein. And some of you may know, during my story times, I like to begin with a little song and dance. It gets the bodies moving and helps with a little bit of focus, so then we can really start our story time. Alright, so this song is called the Bread and Butter Song. Some of you might know this. I encourage you to join in with me. If you don't know this, it's okay. It's easy to learn. So I will begin by saying, bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as, and then I will describe the ways we say hello, whether it be fast and slow, loud or quiet. Okay? So let's begin. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quiet as we can. Hello. Is that too quiet? Okay. Let's do the next one. Opposite of quiet is loud. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loud as we can. Hello! That's pretty good. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as you can. Hello. Bet you guys did way better than I did. All right, and the opposite of slow is fast. Okay, so that'll be our next one. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Hello. Is that too fast? Hello. All right, and then the last two. So we're gonna go high voices. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as high as you can. Hello. And the opposite of high is low. So let's do our low voices. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as low as you can. Hello. Very good, guys. I knew you'd do that. I knew you'd be natural. All right, so now that we got our energies moving, we got our bodies moving, we have our focus, let's start our story. We're gonna start with one of my favorite books, A Light in the Attic by Shel Silverstein. Hilarious stories and poems. And this one is called The Homework Machine. That's what the homework machine looks like. The homework machine, oh, the homework machine, most perfect contraption that I've ever seen. Just put in your homework, then drop in a dime, snap on the switch, and in 10 seconds time, your homework comes out quick and clean as can be. Here it is, 9 plus 4, and the answer is 3. 3? Oh me, I guess it's not as perfect as I thought it would be. Actually, can anyone guess what 9 plus 4 actually is? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so if you guess that, is very good math. It's technically 13, not 3. Alright, so on to our next book. We will be reading Where the Wild Things Are, Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. Classic book, very good. But before we begin, if you have a crown at home, or a hat, or a tiara, or something special you'd like to wear, I encourage you right now, go and grab it. And I'll grab my crown. Because in the story, Max is crowned king of the wild things. So, let's be kings and queens. Okay. Where the wild things are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. There he is, nailing a nail on the wall. Very mischievous. And another chasing his little puppy. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating any supper. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. That's his new room now. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat just for Max, and he sailed off through the night and the day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. That's the first wild thing. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus begin." All right, guys, now it's time to dance with the wild things. Dancing in the moonlight. Swinging from trees, following a dance line. Look at them, having a blast. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around from far away across the world, he smelled some good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. He smelled his mom's home cooking. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. I hope you enjoyed the story of Max and the Wild Things. And the next thing will be a poem from Shel Silverstein. So, the story that we're going to read from Shel Silverstein, the poem, the short poem, is called The Twistable Turnable Man. All right. He's the twistable, turnable, squeezable, pullable, stretchable, foldable man. He can crawl in your pocket or fit in your locket, or screw himself into a 20-volt socket, or stretch himself up to the steeple or taller, or squeeze himself into a thimble or smaller. Yes, he can. Of course he can. He's the twistable, turnable, squeezable, pullable, stretchable, shrinkable man. And he lives a passable life with his squeezable, lovable, kissable, huggable, pullable, tuggable wife. And they have 2 twistable kids who bend up the way that they did. And they turn and they stretch just as much as they can for this bendable, foldable, do what you're toldable, easily moldable, buy what you're soldable, washable, mendable, highly dependable, buyable, saleable, always available, bounceable, shakeable, almost unbreakable, twistable, turnable man. That's one of my favorites. A Light in the Attic by Shel Silverstein. So I wanted to finish this off to talk about the importance of hygiene. Always important to remember to wash your hands and keep your hands in your pockets when you're outside. But when we wash our hands, sometimes it's easy to be a little bit too fast, or we'll miss some stuff. So there's a fun song that we can sing while we're washing our hands to help remind us, and it'll give us enough time to make sure our hands are nice and clean. So for those of you who know the tune Farajaka, this is kind of what it goes by. Imagine you're washing your hands in the sink. We'll go tops and bottoms, in between, Scrub them all together, nice and clean, squeaky clean. Tops and bottoms, in between, Scrub them all together, nice and clean, squeaky clean. Singing it twice while you're washing your hands should give you enough time to make sure you got all those germs out of there, and you'll be nice, squeaky clean. So I just want to say thank you all for joining me for the story time. Stay safe, wash your hands, and stay tuned for any news for when the library will be open, or any future fun events that will be posted on our either Facebook or our website. All right, thank you very much. Have a good one.